Yo people, what's happening? Back with another YouTube video. I haven't posted much on YouTube lately, it's just that I'm trying to fill it with some like interesting stuff. I want to start going out and doing interviews with people. I don't want to just have all these videos of me here sitting rambling on about stuff. But today I just wanted to touch on something that I think is quite important and I think a lot of people need to hear is it's the importance, I think, of like following your dream and following what you want to do in your life. Because, for instance, if I just use myself as an example, like I may not be the richest guy in the world, and I may not have stuff that maybe I could have had if I just went to work a 9 to 5 or something. Which I mean I do anyway, but I mean I fit it around my dream. I could go and do something else and get more money. But anyway, besides the point. Yes, but instead of I may not have all that stuff, but I have lifelong memories that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and stories that I can tell to people for the rest of my life. I can tell these people that I was a professional fighter, I fought at York Hall, I was ranked this, I was on Sky, you know. And sometimes where I just feel like we have so much depression in the world. And I really do feel like it's because people just go and do something for good money, which is good. Like you probably make more money than I ever make in my life, but you're not happy with your life. You're stuck in a job where, okay, you get money, but you're not happy doing it, and then that leads you to be miserable, and that's not the only reason. I think there's a lot of depression in the world, but I think there's a very high one, that people are miserable with their jobs, and that leads them to be miserable with their lives, because I was in that same position not long ago. So I think following your dreams is very, very, very important, or at least following or doing something you really like. And another thing, like something that I find so sad is when people will give up on their dreams just because someone told them they wasn't good enough. And I just feel like that's really sad, because in life, again, if I can use myself as an example, the amount of people that told me that I was never good enough and I've come to like pretty much eat their words, it just, if I had a pound, as they say, I'd be a millionaire, you know. And if I can use other people, since, for instance, look at Johnny Nelson, the Sky Sports pundit who was a cruiserweight world champion. He was told he wasn't good enough, and I think he lost his first 3 or 4 professional boxing fights. So imagine how many people were saying he wasn't good enough then. And then he went on to win a world title, and now is one of the top Sky Sports pundits in Britain. And everyone told him he wasn't good enough. Just imagine if he would have quit. And if you look at Mikhail Kessler, who was I think a 2-time super middleweight world champion, he beat Carl Froch, he fought Joe Karzaki, you know, he fought everyone, Andre Ward. He was one of the best in the world. When he was 16, I watched a documentary on him, and when he was 16 he was like a skinny lad that went into a boxing gym, and he used to get beat up all the time in the boxing gym. And his coach told him every time, he's like, just give up, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And that was his own boxing coach who's meant to teach him like the ways of like how to fight and how to be good enough, and he was telling him that he wasn't good enough, and then look what he went on to achieve. And again, you know, using myself, like I was told that I should never turn pro when I wanted to turn over, by people who I thought were close friends and family members, and then even when I went into the gym and turned pro, I had my own gym mates telling Barry not to train me because I wasn't good enough. And then when I went to places like Shane McGuigan's gym, they said they called Barry up and they said to him that kid shouldn't be anywhere near a boxing ring, when I was like, you know, trying to find my way in boxing. And Barry told them, he told every single one, he said, I think you're wrong. He's like, I see a lot of, I don't think he used the word potential, but he saw desire in me, and he told people that I'll fight for a southern area quicker than they will. Well, he actually said win a southern area quicker than they would, but I fought for one quicker than all of them. And that's the kind of thing, like, you just can't listen to these people. A lot of them are just jealous. and they just want to run you down, and they just want to spread hate and spread negativity all the time, like most people do in the world. And it's just jealousy, and it's just a reflection on themselves. And I just think it's very important not to listen to these kind of people, because they don't know what they're talking about. In life, do you really think that anyone that got to the top, firstly, do you think that no one ever told them that in the first place? And secondly, do you really believe that from the second they walked into the gym they was just going to be world champions? It don't work like that. They have to graft and put so much effort in, just like we all do in life. And most of them, just like Mikel Kessler, there probably was a time when he was shit and he wasn't good at all. But with hard work and dedication, you can get anywhere in life. And this, I just feel it's so important. Like, even like myself, I probably was shit. I probably was shit when I first started boxing, and when I first wanted to turn a pro. But like, look at me now. I don't want to say like, oh, like look at me now, like, but you know, like look at me. Like, I'm sparring kids that are in the top 15 in the world, and I've gone all over England, and I've sparred Commonwealth champions, Southern Area champions, English champions, European champions, world champions, and I've always held my own and made a good account of myself. And I did really well in my life, you know, like I did really well, especially with boxing. And if I just would have quit, I probably would have just been doing some shit job and would have been miserable, like, which I was before I decided to go down that path. So I just wanted to touch on that, and just to tell people, you know, don't listen to people if they tell you you're not good enough, because like fuck them, like what the fuck do they know, like. And you probably are good enough. You may not be good enough right now, but you have the potential to be good enough. And yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, because I just find it sad when people give up because someone told them they weren't good enough, or they hear negative stuff and they just think, oh, I don't want to pursue this because people told me I can't, or oh, I can't live with not being rich and, I don't want to say rich and successful, because if you're successful you've done pretty well, but I mean, like, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to take the chance of following my dream and potentially being really happy but not having money, you know. Like, I just feel like it's so important in life to do what you want to do and do what makes you happy, and not listen to people saying, oh, well, if you can't buy it twice you shouldn't buy it at all. Like, oh, fuck off. Like, it's just bullshit, because yeah, maybe I can't afford to buy it twice, but maybe that thing that I buy might make me really happy. Like, so why does it matter? Like, just do what makes you happy, and follow your dreams, and just do whatever you want with your life. It's your life, you only get one, so just live it to the maximum potential that you possibly can. Anyway, that was my message for today. Peace.